Jai Sai Ram. Sri Sai Satcharitra, Chapter 8, Part 1. Importance of Human Birth, Sai Baba begging food, Baija Bai's service, Sai Baba's dormitory, his affection for Kushal Chand. As hinted in the last chapter, Hemband now explains at length in his preliminary remarks on the importance of human birth, and then proceeds to relate how Sai Baba begged his food, how Baija Bai served him, how he slept in the masjid with Tatyakoti Patil and Mahalsabadi, and how he loved Kushal Chand of Rahata. Importance of human birth. In this wonderful universe, God has created billions of creatures or beings, including gods, demigods, insects, beasts, and men, inhabiting heaven, hell, earth, ocean, sky, and other intermediate regions. Of these, those creatures are souls whose merits preponderate, go to heaven and live there till they enjoy the fruits of their actions. And when this is done, they are cast down, while those souls whose sins or demerits preponderate go down to hell and suffer the consequences of their misdeeds for so long a time as they deserve. When their merits and demerits balance each other, they are born on earth as human beings and are given a chance to work out their salvation. Ultimately, when their merits and demerits both drop down completely, they get their deliverance and become free. To put the matter in a nutshell, souls get their births and transmigration according to their deeds and intelligence, development of their mind. Special value of human body. As we all know, 4 things are common to all the creatures, like food, sleep, fear, and sexual union. In the case of man, he is endowed with a special faculty, that is knowledge, with the help of which he can attain God vision, which is impossible in any other birth. It is for this reason that gods envy man's fortune and aspire to be born as men on earth as to get their final deliverance. Some say that there is nothing worse than the human body, which is full of filth, mucus, phlegm, and dirt, and which is subject to decay, disease, and death. This is no doubt true to a certain extent, but in spite of these drawbacks and defects, the special value of human body is that man has got the capacity to acquire knowledge. It's only due to the human knowledge that one can think of perishable and transitory nature of body itself and of the world and get a disgust for the sense enjoyments and can discriminate between the unreal and the real and thus attain God's vision. So, if we reject and neglect the body because it is filthy, we lose the chance of God vision. And if we fondle it and run after the sense enjoyments because it is precious, we go to hell. The proper course, therefore, for us to pursue is the following: that the body should neither be neglected nor fondled, but should be properly cared for, just as a traveler on horseback takes care of the pony on the way till he reaches his destination and returns home. Thus, the body should ever be used for or engaged to attain God vision or self-realization, which is the supreme end of life. It is said that though God created various sorts of creatures, he was not satisfied, for none of them was able to know and appreciate his work. So he had to create a special being, man, and endow him with a special faculty, that is knowledge. And when he saw that man was able to appreciate his Leela and marvelous work and intelligence, he was highly pleased and satisfied. So really, it is good luck to get a human body, better luck to get birth in a Brahmin family, and the best one to get an opportunity to having recourse to Sai Baba's feet and surrendering to him. Man's endeavor, realizing how precious the human life is and knowing that death is certain and may snatch us any time, we should be ever alert to achieve the object of our life. We should not make the least delay, but make every possible haste to gain our object. Just as a widower is most anxious to get himself married to a new bride, or just as a king leaves no stone unturned to seek his lost son, so with all earnestness and speed, we should strive to attain our end, self-realization. Casting aside sloth and laziness, warding off drowsiness, we should day and night meditate on the self. If we fail to do this, we reduce ourselves to the level of beasts. How to proceed? The most effective and speedy way to gain our object is to approach a worthy saint or sage, Sadguru, who has himself attained God vision. What cannot be achieved by hearing religious lectures and study of religious works is easily obtained in the company of such worthy souls. Just as the sun alone can give light, which all the stars put together cannot do, so the Sadguru alone imparts spiritual wisdom, which all the sacred books and sermons cannot infuse. His movements and simple talks give us silent advice. The virtue of forgiveness, calmness, disinterestedness, charity, benevolence, control of mind and body, egolessness, etc., are observed by the disciples as they are being practiced in such pure and holy company. This enlightens their minds and lifts them up spiritually. Sai Baba was such a sage or Sadguru. Though he acted as a fakir, he was always engrossed in the self. He always loved all beings in whom he saw God or divinity. By pleasure he was not elated. He was not depressed by misfortunes. A king and a pauper were the same to him. He, whose glance would turn a beggar into a king, used to beg his food from door to door in Shirdi, and let us now see how he did it. Jai Sai Ram.